Hello guys, hello, happy Wednesday, good morning, good afternoon everyone. Hope you're having a good week so far. Hopefully everything is going well. Let me see who's joined us today. We've got Dave Bob. Good morning, Dave Bob. We've got Colin. Good afternoon. Mark and Chris. Hello to the Bash Brothers. We've got Golgo13. Hello. Good morning. Arwen. Good morning to you. Psychodorf. Good to see you as always. Geek Inside. Good morning. Firefly MK1. Good afternoon, love. Good to see you. Who else has joined? We've got Camphor. Hey, Deadman Walking 55. Good to see you. Paris, good morning, and hello to Deepak Martin. Welcome, guys. Hope everyone is having a good day. Let me just scroll up and make sure I haven't missed anybody. I think that's everyone. Awesome. Today I wanted to kind of do something a little bit more positive. This is going to sound a little bit stupid, but this is going to be as much for me as it is for you guys. So I just wanted to talk about some of the stuff that I loved, and see what you love as well, and see if we can have a nice, relaxed, chill stream. Oh, Ren Zero, I'm sorry, honey. Good morning. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. So what I will do is I will start off with some of my recommendations, and I will kind of take it from there and see what you guys like. Let me just make sure that the connection looks okay. Oh, it's looking very fuzzy, isn't it? Good to see you. Oh, sorry guys, I'm looking at the feedback, and the camera's not looking great, unfortunately. Okay. Alright, so I'll have to try turning that off for a little bit and see what happens. And hello, William Jackson, good to see you. Okay, so sorry guys. I really needed the video feed on today. Let me just check, see what we can do. Alright, I'll leave that for a second and see if it comes back. But while we're waiting, hello Lemon Pie, good to see you. And good to see you as always, everyone. I can talk about some of the films that I love, because the books that I was going to talk about I was actually going to show, because I've got them here with me. So some of the films that I love to watch that make me feel good, things like Highlander. Absolutely love Highlander. The Crow, one of my absolute favourites. I'd love to see that. One that I never get tired of watching. One that I've talked about a few times recently, The Little Mermaid. I know we don't really, endorse Disney anymore, but I loved their older animation, and The Little Mermaid was my absolute favourite. I remember seeing it in the theatre. I remember getting it on VHS and then on DVD and on Blu-ray. That's how much I love that film. And then the other one that I always recommend is Pan's Labyrinth. Now, I'm a massive fan of Guillermo del Toro. Always have been, always loved his work. And Pan's Labyrinth was one of those ones that really, really spoke to me when I first saw it. I always think of it as an adult fairy tale. But it's not only got one of my favourite actors in, it's also a really, really well done film. Special effects, makeup effects are wonderful. And Ren Zero says that love the original Jungle Book. Yeah, love the Jungle Book as well. Arwen says Little Mermaid will always be my favourite Disney, next to Sleeping Beauty. I love Sleeping Beauty as well. That's a great film. And hello to Eric K. Good morning to you. Good to see you. Psychodor says, Purple Valkyrie, try Appleseed Alpha. I'll watch anytime, anywhere. Okay, I will give that a go, if you recommend it. Let's see if I turn the camera back on, guys, see if the connection stabilized a little bit. Let's see if that's any better. Let me know in the chat if that's any better. If not, I can try and fiddle with the camera, see if it works. But since we were talking about Pan's Labyrinth, let me bring out one of the books that I was going to recommend for you guys. So it's a tie-in to the film. It is this one. So really, really beautiful book. I love coffee table books. And this one is no exception. It's got behind the scenes pictures, it's got interviews with the cast, it's got interviews with Del Toro, and it tells a really great story of how he almost lost one of his journals in London. So what Del Toro does with all of his films is he keeps kind of like journals, so almost like a dream diary. So any ideas he gets, he writes them down. He does little sketches of characters that kind of pop into his head, and sometimes they get used in film, sometimes they don't. But a lot of what went on to become Pan's Labyrinth was actually in one of these books, and he left it in a taxi in London, and the taxi driver actually managed to find out where he was staying, which hotel, and return it to him, and he was absolutely blown away. He was so grateful. So had it not been for that taxi driver, we probably wouldn't have had Pan's Labyrinth, and probably several other of Del Toro's films would have been very different. Exactly, Renzero. Yeah, always loved that Del Toro doodles in his journals. He does, and he's actually a pretty good artist, surprisingly. Good on the taxi driver, indeed. It's one of my favourite stories. And Farah says, Papa Valkyrie, that looks like the Pan's Labyrinth textbook. It's not the textbook, it's more like the behind the scenes book. So it goes into detail of the filming, it talks about the cast, it gives a lot of behind the scenes pictures, goes into detail about how the makeup was done, that kind of thing, and costuming. It's a really great book. Journal, yeah. And Dadman Walking, he says, when I get really mindless and silly, I like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And this is from somebody who absolutely despises clowns. I really do. There's nothing funny about clowns. Don't like them. I won't have anything to do with clowns in the house. Not even like a Halloween decoration, for example. Nothing to do with clowns ever comes in here. But I do like that film because it's silly and it's a B movie, and I love B movies. I have got some other kind of horror movies that I love as well. And hello, Gun Bunny. Hello, lovely. Good to see you. So since we were talking about books and horror, let me pull up a couple of other ones. So for anyone who is a big horror fan, this book's so heavy. Let me get it. Psychodor says, oops, it skipped on me. Clowns, what's the bag limit? Any clowns. I don't even like Ronald McDonald. That's how much I disagree. And Mark says, I agree, Purple. Best clown is a dead clown. Thank you, Poltergeist, for my hatred of clowns. Exactly. I hated that clown in Poltergeist. But it was kind of funny to see it taken the piss out of in a Scary Movie. So that kind of made it a little bit better. And hello, Pudgy. Good to see you. He says, Pudgy bouncing with Eddie the dog outside Purple's door. Time to explore the forbidden closet. Stay out of the closet, Pudgy. You know the rules. And Rin Zero says horror is my least favourite genre. Oh, that's okay, honey. I love all genres, but horror is probably goes horror, fantasy, western, sci-fi. Those are probably my favourites for genres. And Chris says it seems that anything Purple collects is a tome. Pretty much, yes. If I can get a book about something, and if it's a big hardback book, then I will get the hardback version of any book that I can find. But let me show you the one that I was going to bring up. So there it is. So this is John Landis's. This is Monsters in the Movies. 100 Years of Cinematic Nightmares. This is a fantastic book for anybody that loves creatures in films, for anybody who loves the behind the scenes, for anyone who loves to kind of chart how horror films have evolved over the years. I highly recommend this book. Campus said that's a big book. It is a big book. It's actually a very heavy book as well. But I love coffee table books. Pretty much everything behind me on the bottom shelf of this bookshelf is books of these size. It's what anchors it to the floor. I like your taste in books also. Nothing like a well-produced hardback. Absolutely. Now I like, if I'm traveling, and I'll get on to traveling in a little bit, I like to bring like the Kindle to read because I think it's a lot more convenient. But if I'm going to sit down and actually enjoy, there's nothing like having a really good book. And Firefly says American Werewolf in London is a classic. It is another one of my favourites. Definitely one that I'm probably going to be talking about soon. Might do a like vampires versus werewolves kind of show and see which one wins. Kind of like a versus, if you will. Geek Inside says, oh, I love that book. I would highly recommend it. I think it's pretty easy to find. I think there's a couple of versions of it. And I think Amazon, you should be able to find it quite easily. I picked it up at a convention for about £5. So it shouldn't be too expensive to pick up. Debug Martin says, no Kindles for me. I need the real thing. I do generally. It's only just for convenience that I'll bring a Kindle. Favorite movie, Fright Night and Lost Boys. Nice for the vampires, absolutely. I will throw my hat in the ring for the werewolves, and I will say Dog Soldiers is probably my favorite, followed by The Howling. And Silver Bullets is pretty good too. Comfort says, how do you feel about the Underworld movies? I like them for what they were. I think, like a lot of them, they went on for a little bit too long, but I loved Kate Beckinsale in it. I thought she was fantastic. And I actually really liked the designs of the Lycans and the vampires. I thought it was an interesting twist that they gave them. So I gotta admit, I do enjoy them. £5 is too heavy for Pudgy. Oh, this book is much, much too heavy for you, Pudgy. You'd never be able to pick this up. Geek Inside says, I have American Werewolf in London on VHS DVD, but the sound on the Blu-ray is amazing. I have it on Blu-ray as well. It really is. And Psychodwarf says, for vampires, gotta be Underworld. Absolutely. Since we are talking about vampires, let me bring in another book, an author that I think I've mentioned, but I haven't really kind of talked about in depth. So it's an author by the name of Brian Lumley. Now, this is just book 1 of 3 of this particular one. So this is Vampire Worlds. So you see how big these books are. And this one has been read to death, as you can tell. If anyone loves... if you like kind of cosmic horror, if you love vampires, if you love Lovecraft, I would highly, highly recommend Brian Lumley. Very similar to Clive Barker. He's got that kind of writing style. The Necroscope, exactly, Mark. Yes. You got it. Great books. Kind of adults. So not only kind of are they violent, they're also kind of sexual as well. But that's okay. I highly recommend them. And Renzir asks, Purple, did you see Only Lovers Left Alive by Jim Jarmusch? Hiddleston and Swinton were great in my opinion. Different take on the vampire movies, I thought. I did. I actually really liked it. It wasn't what I expected, but I think that's good. I'm not quite sure what I expected going into it. I thought it was going to be more kind of campy and more comedy. But it really was. And I do like Tilda Swinton. I think she's a really, really good actress. Eric K says, have you ever seen Brotherhood of the Wolf? I haven't, but I have heard of it. So I will have to add that to my list. And hello, Project Storytime. Good to see you. He says, oh my. Hey. I hope you're having a good morning. But yep, definitely would recommend Brian Lumley. Like I said, he's quite a prolific author. He does different kind of story arcs for all of his books. But if you just want a self-contained story, I would go with the Vampire World. So book 1, 2, and 3. They're all about the same size, so they're all quite, substantial. I think it's like 740 pages, something like that. So they're not a quick read, but I highly recommend them. I really enjoyed them, and I've reread them and read them over the years for quite a while. And hello, Lord Toffee says, rising and shining. Good to see you, love. Welcome. I hope you're doing well and brightest day. Hello, good morning. It says BOTW is a classic. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Let's see what else people are saying in the chat. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Project Soulstone says, hey, Twilight is one of the greatest comedies ever written. Unintentional comedies, I would agree with you. I've got to put my hand up and say I've only ever watched the first one. So I don't know whether they got better. I got a sneaking suspicion they didn't because of how they've been memed over the years. But it wasn't for me. I thought it was too silly. And Gogo says sparkling vampires, exactly. Yeah, it was just too weird for me. And I've never really been a big fan of Robert Pattinson. It's probably why I'm not really looking forward to the new Batman film coming out. Camper says fabulous vamps, indeed. Oh my god. The other one that I was going to pull up, so if anyone is a fan of Friday the 13th, another big recommendation that I would have for you, if I can bring this one into camera view, is this one. So Camp Crystal Lake Memories. So this is the entire history of all of the Friday the 13th, other than the newest ones, of course. Really, really great book. It goes into detail on all of the actors that have played Jason, all of the films, everything that a Friday the 13th fan could want from a book. I was always hoping that there would be a Nightmare on Elm Street version that came out similar, but we haven't had it yet. But still, fingers crossed. There are books based on Nightmare on Elm Street, and Robert Englund did a autobiography where he talked a lot about playing Freddy, but something like that would be amazing for me. And Raj H, thank you, honey. Welcome, warm welcome to you. Let me see. Let me scroll down. There we go. Let's see if it pops up. And he is joined as a berserker. Thank you, love. Really, really appreciate you. Thank you. I hope you're having a good day. And hello to Borgporg. Welcome. Good to see you. What's with the shocked face? What's that? Oh, Borgporg says, have you played the Friday the 13th game? I have. I liked it. I thought it was a pretty good game. Was kind of miffed when they took it away because I thought it had a lot of potential. I know it was very popular. I think the issue that they had was people only wanted to play as Jason. They didn't want to play as anybody else. So if people weren't getting Jason in the rotation, they were quitting. But I really liked the game. I thought it was well done. I liked that you could play the different versions of him as well. And Renzura says, I think the only Jason film I remember is Jason in Space. I have a guilty pleasure for that one. I think it's pretty good, if only for the kills, because some of the kills in that film are very over the top, like the sleeping bag one, for example. That is a classic. And hello to you, Stay at Home Podcast, Jane Cruz. Good to see you. It says press X to Jason X. Geek inside. Thank you, honey. And Deepa Martin says, who doesn't want to play as Jason? Exactly, I know. Jason is the best, but I think people were getting a little bit silly. If they didn't get the character, they were just quitting, so it was messing up the rotation of players. Kill count, that film was hilarious. It really was. And Lord Throff says, I love the knife up through the hammock. Poor girl, indeed. And hello to Kai. Good morning, love. Hey, I hope you're doing well. Good morning. And Sentient Dildo, it's been a while. He says, oi, what's all this then? Buzz, 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 buzz. We're having a chill stream today, Sentient Dildo. I'm just giving a few of the things that I love, some of the either films or books that I recommend that make me happy, and kind of asking you guys as well, what makes you happy? What do you love? When you're feeling down, what's your kind of go-to? Do you watch a film? Do you play a game? Do you read a book? Or do you kind of go out? I always like to, if I'm feeling down, I go to the park and get some fresh air and try and clear my head. And Arvin asks, isn't that the one where he dips the chick's head into the whatever it was solution? That was rough. It was, yes, it was the I think it was like nitroglycerine or something. He just dunks her head in and then smashes it. You got it. And hello to Sadaku24. Good to see you. He says, old poetry Doctor Who usually cheers me up. Yes, I've heard that a lot, especially people that are, you know, kind of, let's say, disfranchised, I suppose you could call it, you know, disappointed with the current Doctor Who. They're more and more going back to the previous versions of the Doctors to make them happy. And why not? You know, we had some amazing Doctors. I always liked, I've got to admit, I did like Capaldi. I think Capaldi could have been an amazing Doctor had he been given better material to work with. Let's see what else you guys are saying. William Jackson says, I'm a walker when I get in that mode. I've, especially over the past 18 months with everything that's gone on, I've definitely kind of gone more towards that as well, just to kind of get out of the house. Our lockdown in the UK was quite severe at one point, so we were only allowed out for exercise like once a day. I'm not quite sure how they thought that they were going to enforce that, but that was one of the rules they tried to put in place. But absolutely, if I need to get out, then I just I take the dog for a walk, or I just go for a run or something. And Sentient Dildo says, I love to charge my batteries in my free time. Project Summertime says it was liquid hydrogen. Okay, all right, thank you, honey. Appreciate that. Oh, Pudgy, what are you doing? Let's see. I just saw something. He says, Pudgy and Eddie found something both ponder. Dare they go further into the forbidden closet? I wouldn't recommend it, Pudgy. I really wouldn't. There are things in there that you just don't want to see. When I'm down, actually find I'm more creative now. So I end up writing something, drawing something, or whatever project I'm working on at the time. I'd agree with that as well. I'm not much of a writer, but I do like to paint occasionally, and I do like to sculpt. So if I ever kind of get in that kind of creative mood, I'll try and make something. Or cooking is another thing that I've gotten back into in the last year or so. I've always liked to cook, but working, it was always kind of on the back. But now I'm definitely trying harder and experimenting more with more recipes. Kai says Capaldi would have been fantastic. He did good with what he had. Absolutely, I agree. I think he was just a really good doctor. He was definitely it's been said before, with the Doctor, what you need is somebody who's a character actor, not so much somebody who's very good looking. You need somebody who has gravitas with the character, somebody who is kind of an old soul. Now Matt Smith had that, even though he was the youngest Doctor. He has this kind of oldness about him. I know that sounds awful, but he seems to be a lot older than he actually is, and that's, I think, why Matt Smith pulled off the role so well. Mark says, feeling down, movies, nothing beats popping any which way but loose for a good laughs and fights. God, I haven't seen that film in years. I'm gonna have to watch that again now. We talked about that recently, didn't we, when I was talking about Eastwood? Yeah, great film. Dadman Walking says, if I'm angry, something physical like playing basketball or yard work or going to the gym works for me. If I'm melancholy, probably sleep. Yeah, in the past I've tried sleep, but that hasn't worked so well for me. So I tend to try to keep as active as I possibly can. And not forgetting, the one thing that has helped the most for me is this channel. It's getting to talk to you guys. Getting to do these shows has been an incredible lift for me. And I am incredibly grateful for everybody's support. Before I did Rise and Shine, I was actually really, really lonely. So to get this opportunity to talk to everybody and that you guys actually want to hear what I say, it still blows me away. So thank you guys. Armin says, walking, artwork, good music, and favourite shows on a loop usually recharge my crank. Absolutely. And I think everybody, feels like this from time to time. It's just knowing how to kind of deal with it. Project Storytime says, I've said it before and I'll say it again, but Capaldi was like a master chef forced to work at McDonald's. I really like that analogy. That's great. Geek Inside says, I've been reading a lot of audio biographies. They make me relax. Awesome. I don't read a lot of biographies, I've got to admit. It's probably one of the things I should kind of get into. And Colin says, I'm sorry if it offends some people, but one thing any actor playing the Doctor should be is male. That I agree with. Yeah, the Doctor, I don't think ever should be female. I think it was a really bad idea. It could have been, worked if they'd had an actress that actually wanted to be the Doctor. But yeah, I think that's why, unfortunately, Jodie Whittaker has been such a fail. Let me see what else you guys are saying. It's Borg. It says, it's so hot here in California. I might have to force myself to go to the beach. Too bad there's a lot of homeless people in Venice. Oh, yeah, I would love. That's the one thing that I do miss, is going to the beach. I don't sunbathe, but I do like to walk on the beach. And what I actually love to do is collect seashells. So that's a really good kind of segue into another of the subjects that I was going to bring up. Oh, hugs to you too, Deepa Martin. Thank you, honey. Appreciate it. And Pudgy, thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. And hello, Cam. Good to see you. It says, Purple Valkyrie. Hi, Purple. Hey. Hope you're well. Doing okay. Thank you. Good to see you. Home safe, but have a bunch to do that I neglected while away. Well, I hope you had a fantastic time. I know that you were in Spain last week, so I hope you had a brilliant time. Very, very happy that people are now slowly being able to travel. And that's awesome. I'm glad that you got to do it. And Kai says go to Orange Beach County or Long Beach if you want to avoid homeless people. Oh my gosh, guys. And Colin, purple. Oh my god. Let's see if I can do it. Purple sells seashells on the seashore. Indeed. And hello, Mexican Ironman. Good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate that. He sends us a $9.99 super chat. Thank you very much. He says, when feeling down, order a copy of Mexican Ironman brand thong, velvet poster with sunset or beachfront setting. Now available. You know what? That probably would actually definitely cheer me up. So thank you for that, Mexican Ironman. We'll have to put that one on my list. And let me scroll back up and get that Brightest Day. Brightest Day says, we love you, Purple. I love you too. I really do, guys. And I do honestly appreciate you. You guys are amazing. I never think that I don't feel incredibly lucky to be able to do this show, to be able to talk to you guys. It's kind of blown me away. It's more than I ever expected, I've got to admit. So let's see what else you guys are saying. And hello, JPRPH1. He says, hail Purple in chat. Hello, good to see you. And good to see you as well. Sentient Dildo says, I don't have a problem with the Doctor being a female. I have a problem with the substandard scripts, dumb politics, and hiring of a blank plank of wood as the Doctor. I think that pretty much sums it up. Yeah, people just wanted to be entertained. You know, Doctor Who's been around. It's the longest running sci-fi show that the BBC has ever produced, and they've pretty much sunk it. You know, this was their flagship show at one point, and it's going to take a long time, if ever, for the goodwill of the fans to come back. And hello, Keely. Good to see you. Roll Tide, Keely. So, as I was saying, Cam was talking about it as well, and a couple of other people. One of the other things that I absolutely love to do, that I can't wait to get back to doing, is traveling. I've always travelled. Love to explore new places. I've been pretty much all over Europe. I've been as far as New Zealand, Australia. I've been to several states in America. I've been to Thailand, which was wonderful. The next place I would really like to go would be Canada. That's on my bucket list. And I think I would like to see Hong Kong as well. Both of those would be amazing to be able to travel to. Oh, and Ren Zero, thank you, sweetheart. He sends us a £2 super chat. He says, something for your next hardback. Hugs to you, sweetheart. When I buy it, I will let you know which one I pick up. Absolutely. And hello to SRB, says Jennifer Lumley is the only female Doctor. You know what? She actually played a fantastic role. I do remember that because that was for Children in Need, if I remember correctly. And even though it was just, you know, a parody, she really did nail that. You guys are giving some other suggestions. Let's have a look, see what else you guys are saying. So Mark says, another one I wouldn't mind, Renzira says to Mark, another one I wouldn't mind is Elizabeth Debicki. Yeah, I could have seen that, absolutely. Who was it that I would see? Michelle Dockery would have been my choice. I think she's a really good actress. I really liked her in Godless. I thought she was great in that. And I think the first thing that I saw in, I think it was Hogfather, actually, the Terry Pratchett book. But I think she was in one of the period dramas as well from the BBC when she was younger. And that was kind of her big break. But I think she could have pulled it off. And hello to Loki. Good morning, boss. Good to see you. And hello to Nearsighted Cyclops. Welcome. It says, came to the Great Dismissal Swamp. Come to the Great Dismal Swamp. We have alligators. I love alligators. I saw alligators when I was in Florida. I think they're really cool. Of all the things to have, that would have been awesome. Probably not so much if you see them kind of in your back garden, but to see them from a distance, that's pretty cool. And hello to Lady Mist. Hello, sweetheart. Cam says, wow, that's some travelling. Been as far as Japan. Would love to see New Zealand and Hong Kong. Always been on the list. New Zealand is fantastic. I was very, very lucky to go over there and get to stay for a little while. Got to see pretty much where all of the Lord of the Rings was filmed. Got to visit Christchurch, Wellington, Auckland, and where the actual filming location is, where Hobbiton is. It's in the place called Rotorua. And that's it's amazing. It's literally like walking onto the film set because they've kept it pristine. So you see all the little hobbit houses going up the hill right up to Bilbo's / Frodo's home. It's awesome. And you can actually go inside. There's nothing inside the house, but you can kind of pose for pictures and the door does open. So it's definitely recommended. Oh, and so we used to live not far from the Everglades, and no, don't want to see alligators or rattlesnakes. Yeah, rattlesnakes probably not so much, but alligators I actually really like. I think they're cute. And Keely says, I've been to Hong Kong a couple of times. Oh, that's definitely on my bucket list. I know a lot of people that have gone and said it was amazing. Oh, sorry guys, it's really hot here today. But it's somewhere that I would love to go. Sentient Dilda says, always wanted to visit New Zealand. Closest I came was Fiji. Fiji I have not been to. Fiji looks amazing as well. I've also been to Hawaii, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, that's one of the things that I love to do. It makes me happy. The Mexican Iron Man says, we have alligators in South Carolina. Oh, if you see one, Mexican Iron Man, take a picture of it for me, because I love them. I think they're awesome. Probably when you have to deal with them on a day-to-day basis, they're probably not so awesome, but as a novelty, because obviously we don't have anything like that in the UK, I just think they're cool. And hello, good to see you. We've got Manowar 665, Neighbour of the Beast. Welcome. We have copperheads in my neck of the woods. I've heard that those are really dangerous, the copperheads. At least a rattlesnake will warn you, but some of those, and I think the other one that I was told about, a water moccasin, I think they're quite dangerous as well, if I remember correctly. But like I said, at least a rattlesnake will tell you it's there. Oh my gosh, let's see what else you guys are saying. Let me scroll back up, so I think I missed some really cool comments. Project Storytime says, rise and shine. Come to Pittsburgh. We have sandwiches, terrible baseball, and political corruption. Take away baseball and you just kind of describe the UK. But eventually I would like to visit all of the states in America. What I really want to do is travel Route 66. That's my kind of bucket list thing that I really want to tick off in the next few years. But it's probably going to take about 6 weeks of traveling, because I want to stop at all the little roadside attractions, all the little kind of tourist traps that people shouldn't fall into, but I just kind of love. So that's what I would like to do. Psychodrop says, hold on a moment, sent you some pixie. Your wandering feet make it into Idaho. I would love to see Idaho as well. Absolutely. Idaho, Louisiana. I'd like to go back to Florida, because I do actually like Florida. I'd like to see New York. New York is on my list of places I'd like to see. Montana would be amazing. Um, Mark says we have Coach and Nick in Alabama. Yeah, I know, boring. Oh no, we love Coach and Nick. Coach and Nick are awesome. And Alabama is, again, it's on my bucket list of places to see. Keely says, come to Huntsville. We have minor league baseball and political corruption because it's in Alabama. The Illinois of the South. Thanks, Montgomery. Oh my gosh. And hello to Forbidden Room. Good morning. Good to see you. Firefly says, right, I'm off. Just want to throw it out as I'm busy on Friday. I'll be doing my first live stream. Nice. On my second channel, Fantasy Story Ideas. This Sunday, we'll be reading the prologue of my first novel. Awesome. Firefly, if you want to send the link, I will definitely link it out on Friday before we go live. I think you'll be going live after I'm on, if that's correct. If not, correct me. But yeah, guys, check that out. Again, another independent creator, which is what we love. Armin says Georgia just has peaches. Now I'm going to get that song stuck in my head for the rest of the day. Pod Racing Palpatine, good afternoon, Han. It says we have OG York, which is much better than the new version. I love York, I've got to admit. York has a really strong connection to Vikings because the Vikings just kept sacking York. So it's a really good place to visit if you like history. And it's got a fantastic cathedral. And if I remember correctly, it was the birthplace of Guy Fawkes. You'll have to correct me on that one if I'm wrong, Pod Racing. And Keely says, come to Houston, at least Major Turner has a way to deal with the homeless. I would like to see all of Texas. Again, it's one of those ones I would just travel across the whole state. Mark says, no, not all of those peaches. Renzira says, one of the things we in England have is lots of history. Absolutely, we do. And I think that's one of the things that people love, obviously, when they come over here, is the history. Love to go to Scotland. Scotland's an amazing place as well. Same as Wales. Wales is really, really beautiful. And the Lake District, I always recommend as well. So that's still in England, but it's on the English and Scottish border. So a really, really beautiful place to visit. Let me just get a drink, guys. And Colin says, York, it's impossible to say it's a Roman name without slipping into Yorkshire accents. Indeed. And Man of War 665, thank you, honey. It says, he sends us a 665 super chat, thank you. It says, here's some goodwill towards the UK after the grief I've given Az this past week. Oh, we love Az. Az is a great guy. Oops, it skips on me. Colin says, Purple Valkyrie, we have history? I never knew. Indeed. And Duper Martin asks, Purple, if I come to the UK, will you show me Port Merion? Big prisoner fan. Absolutely. Port Merion is an amazing place to visit. That's in Wales, obviously, on the Welsh coast. But it's again, once you kind of, similar to the set for The Hobbit, and once you walk onto it, it just looks pristine because obviously it's a tourist attraction, but it's such a strange place, even if you're not a fan of The Prisoner, just to see this kind of Italian looking village built into this slope of a mountain. It looks great. But yes, if you come to the UK, I will definitely show you around Port Merion. Colin says, darn. She avoided my trap to get it to say Ebogum. I don't do accents, unfortunately. So that's the one thing I fall down with. If you want a real Yorkshire accent, you'd have to go to Az, unfortunately, because He's a Yorkshireman through and through. Sentient Dildo says, 2 days ago I saw a movie in a 2,000-year-old amphitheatre. Nice. I think we need the story of that one. What movie was it? That's amazing. That's much, much cooler than getting to see a drive-in movie, which I'd also like to see. I was so sad that with the coup that more places didn't take advantage of that and just kind of set up in car parks and things and fields where people could just watch a film. If they just put up a projector and a really big screen and people watch it from their cars, you think that would have been a much easier way to get around this ban at the cinemas and the theatres. But oh well, never mind. Manowar says, will they let unjammed heathens such as I into the UK? That one I don't know. With the vaccinations and with travel at the moment, everything is very kind of up in the air. But I think obviously by next year things will definitely have settled down. But at the moment, I would probably say that you would have to have proof that you've had the jab to visit. I know a lot of places in Europe, especially France, there's a lot of kind of talk in France at the moment, and people are kind of up in arms about it, that they want to introduce this passport for people that have been jabbed. And it's also been mentioned here in the UK that now that nightclubs and theatres are opened, what they want to do is introduce this kind of pass to show that you've been jabbed before you can enter. So I don't think it's going to take off, though. Colin says the only drive-in I've ever been to took me to a TLC for Fallout New Vegas. Nearsighted Cyclops says that mobile Mardi Gras used to be a family-friendly one. Is this still the case? I don't know. I would love to see Mardi Gras. Now, a lot of people that have been, or at least kind of have to deal with Mardi Gras year in and year out, say it gets old fast, but I'd like to do it just once, just to say I've done it. Same with going to New York. I'd like to go to New York at New Year's to see that. I think that would be pretty cool. Let's see what else you can say. Oops. Guess my past trip to Rome will end up being my one and only European vacation. Possibly not. Never say never, hun. I think, things have to open up eventually. They're going to have to allow people to get on with their lives. So don't write it off just yet. If you can get back to Rome, Italy is an amazing place to visit. Not a massive fan of France, personally, but I love Italy. I like parts of Spain. I like parts of Germany. Poland is actually a really lovely place to go. Budapest is great. What else would I recommend? Switzerland is really nice, but very, very expensive. Let's see. And hello, Naughty Monkey RF, hugs to you. It says, just driving by. Hi, y'all. Hugs to Darling Purple. Hugs to you too. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're doing well. Pat said, yes, 100% on mobile. I'll remember that next time. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Colin says France is too full of French people. 1,000 years and 31 wars can't be wrong. It's been a while since I've been to France, but what I did like when I went there, I loved seeing Notre Dame. That was pretty awesome, and so much bigger than I expected it to be. It's incredible. And the Paris catacombs I visited, and that was really cool as well. That one I would recommend. But obviously only with a tour guide, because people get lost down there all the time. Psychodwarf says, I wouldn't have traded my time in Germany for the world. Indeed. I really like Germany. Frankfurt is where I visited, and that was really, really cool. And Mark says Purple said it correctly. Yes, yes. I know, I've been told it's mobile, not mobile. There are quite a few places in the US whose names I do stumble over, but that fortunately is not one of them. Naughty Monkey says freaking Normans. And yes, Keely Chow, good points. Another person who used to make me really happy as well. He says, happy birthday to Robin Williams and rest in peace. God, I really miss Robin Williams. Can't believe he's been gone as long as he has been, to be honest. But somebody that, you know, gave the world a lot of joy, but had a lot of demons, unfortunately. But I do miss him. So that's what I might do later on tonight. I'll watch one of his films. I might watch What Dreams May Come. That's a really good film. Or Aladdin, if I feel like an animated film. Pudgy says, purple hearts to purple, everybody keep hugging. Wise words, Pudgy, absolutely. I know it's been hard for a lot of people, but I think there is now the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, we are slowly getting back to how things used to be. We're not quite there yet, but fingers crossed we will be soon. Pod Racing Palpatine says aluminium or aluminum, as you guys pronounce it. My time in Germany was spent in a tank or a drunk. Part of that was okay. Did you go for Oktoberfest? Oktoberfest is pretty awesome if you do that. Debug Martin says, I want to visit Friedrichshafen in southern Germany so I can see the Zeppelin Museum. That would be cool. That would be pretty awesome. Some people always recommend that try driving on the Autobahn. I wouldn't recommend driving on the Autobahn because it's the one time that Germans, they're very, very polite, very reserved people, but the one time that they get a little bit crazy is driving. So if you're not, you know, pedal to the floor, you're going to get a lot of grief. Geek Inside Robin Williams as Batty in Fern Gully, a classic, absolutely. Good to see you. That one I haven't seen in a long time. I think we were talking about that not last week, but the week before when we were talking about all the animated films. Absolutely. And hello, Starry, good to see you. She says, absolutely agree with Brightest Day. I loved him in Patch Adams too. Absolutely. That's a good film. That's one that I've forgotten about. I also really love the darker films that he did. I really like 1 Hour Photo. I thought that was really good. I like to see the kind of the dark side come out of comedians. And Gunbenny says, I've been to the inspiration for the Disney castle. I know that castle. It's incredible. It is literally, it's something out of a fairy tale. It is beautiful. And Arwen says, not visited Bahrain. Saudi Arabia, such a popping place. I've been to Dubai. Not to stay, but to travel through. And I really liked it, but I've never been anywhere like Saudi Arabia. But I've heard it's a really, really nice place to visit. So maybe I'll add that one to the list as well. And hello to Lady Miss. She says, everybody have a beautiful day off to work. A wonderful show, Purple Valkyrie. Thank you, sweetheart. You have a fantastic day as well. I hope everybody has a good day. That's what we want. Snorri says, yes, Purple. Robin was so chilling in 1 Hour Photo. He really was. I think I might have to watch that one as well down the line because it's been a while. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Sentient Tilda says, spent a night in jail in Holland. Fun fact. Okay. You must have really done something untoward to get arrested in Holland, because Holland is quite relaxed when it comes to pretty much everything. Oops. Mark says, I want to go to Holland. My great-grandfather was from Rotterdam, and I would like to see where part of my family came from. Oh, that would be awesome. And Naughty Monkey says, I want to race on the Autobahn. Do it. Go for it. If that's what you want to do, I would say go for it. I probably wouldn't do it because I'd be too nervous. But if you love to drive, then yeah, absolutely, go for it. And hello, Eddie. Welcome. You sit down and be a good boy. Since you do have time, I would tell you if I remembered. It must have been a good one then. It must have been. Oh my gosh, good to see you guys. And Holland is indeed beautiful. Arwen says it is a beautiful place, especially when you see the tulips. To see it all kind of in bloom is amazing. Gumbeni says, I've been to Paris twice, South Korea, Germany, and of course London. Oh, awesome. I haven't been to London for a long time. I've got to admit, it's probably been about 12 years. I know, obviously, living in the UK, but once you've been a couple of times, yeah, you don't really go to the capital that often. Norway and Germany were going to be my next planned destinations. Both of those I would recommend. Norway I haven't been to, but I would definitely like to. I know some people that have visited and they said it's a fantastic place. And I'd also like to see Lapland. Lapland would be pretty cool because I really want to see the lights. Psycho12 says 4 people passing on the Autobahn. Shudder. It's not for the faint of heart, I would say. And Dave Bob, you have a fantastic day as well. He says, have a great day, folks. Gotta run. You have a wonderful day too, Dave Bob. I'm going to wrap this up in just a minute now. Just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone who joined today. Like I said, I just really wanted to do a show that was kind of light-hearted, something that we could kind of remember, you know, when we're feeling down, something that we can do to pick ourselves up. And don't forget, we have each other as well. I know it's kind of a cliche thing to say, but this really is a community. We really do care about each other. So if people need it, just reach out. Everybody is here for everybody else, myself included. If anybody needs anything, I will always be here for you guys. Mark says, I will make it to the UK one day. Yes, I will. I will show up and sneak into Purple's house and take Dr. Doom during a live stream. If you could sneak past round this table, past the sofa, to the cabinet to get Doom, I would be really impressed. But go for it. And thank you, Ren Zero. Appreciate it. And Kai, you're the best as well, sweetheart. Guys, we were talking about Firefly being a author. Kai also is a very talented author. His book is out. So if you haven't read it, I've got it. I haven't finished reading it, but I'm reading through it at the moment. I highly recommend his work because he is a real talent. So thank you for that. The same as Adega. We have some really talented people in this community. Oh, love you too, Arwen. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. Really do. So, guys, I will let you go now. I will be back Friday as usual, and I hope everybody has a good week so far. The best thing I could say is take care of each other and take care of yourselves, and just remember you're not alone ever. So a big thank you to everybody who joined today. I really appreciate you. Thank you to everybody who sent super chats. You guys are the best. And I will see you guys around, and I'll see you on Friday. So thank you. Bye, guys.